equals the rain-soaked streets glistened under a flickering street lamp, casting erratic shadows that danced with the weight of 1,000 silent apologies. 12 years had passed since the din of footsteps had filled these pavements, now surrendered to the heavy sighs of evening. Allison stood at the threshold of an old cafe, mist thick in the air, her heart pounding in rhythm with the patter of raindrops. It was here, in this place of faded promises and broken dreams, that she sensed the gathering storm within her, a tempest brewed from the remnants of a choice she'd hoped the years would wash away. She pushed the cafe door open, the creaking hinge echoing her reluctance. Inside, the air was thick with the aroma of brewed coffee and burnt regrets. The room, nearly empty save for an elderly man hunched over his book, felt both a sanctuary and a prison. Allison took a seat in the far corner, cradling her cup as if it were a lifebuoy thrown into turbulent waters. Flashes of memory clawed at her consciousness, unrelenting in their clarity. The summer of her 21st birthday loomed large, a gilded time suspended in youthful ignorance. Jacob had been her closest friend, a kindred spirit whose laughter had echoed in their small town like music. It was a delicate friendship, painted in shades of trust and possibility, until one fateful night turned it into a canvas of shadows. The laughter had ceased, replaced by a silence deeper than the grave, as the weight of her decision sank into the core of her being. Her mind drifted to that evening's insipid choices: the car, the alcohol, the reckless abandon that led to a fate too cruel to bear. They had been celebrating her impending departure to university, the excitement palpable, but then the inevitable spiral. A need to prove something to herself, to him. The argument had spiraled from jest to anger, leading Jacob to insist on driving. But she had insisted back, pulling at the steering wheel with the fervor born of youthful arrogance. Whether it was fate or folly, in a matter of seconds, their laughter turned into screams, and his life slipped away amidst the crumpled metal of destiny. Years passed, and the guilt had woven itself into the very fabric of her existence, an invisible thread that tightened with each fleeting season. She had tried to bury it beneath the mundane, to distract herself with studies, relationships, and meaningless jobs. But the shadows of that night never truly faded. They crept in, reading her soul insidiously, leaving the essence of their stain permanent. Tonight, she found herself murmuring silent apologies through trembling lips, the words spiraling into the ether like forgotten prayers. The elderly man glanced up from his book, meeting her gaze with weary, knowing eyes, eyes that seemed to penetrate the brittle veneer of her composure. The kindness within them spurred an impulse, a need to unburden herself, to confess the weight that sat like a stone upon her chest. "Did you ever believe in redemption?" she mused aloud, though it was unclear whether she spoke to him or merely to the ghosts entwined with her spirit. "Redemption," he sighed, lowering his book. "It's a fickle companion, my dear. Often it requires more than mere words or reflection. It demands action." Allison felt an ember spark inside her, a realization that perhaps it was time to face the music. The nights spent tossing and turning with guilt had become unbearable, and she had numbly watched as the lives of those around her unfolded, unaware of the burden she carried. "I think I need to make things right," she replied, her voice quivering with resolution, a gentle tremor rising. The man merely nodded, a glimmer of understanding visible in the creases of his aged face. As she left the cafe, Allison was enveloped by the cool night air, each breath sharpening her senses. The darkness still held its whispers, the memories clawing at her resolve. She had a plan. It felt almost tangible, rising from the depths of despair. Perhaps she would speak to Jacob's family, seek out the forgiveness she had long shirked under layers of denial. But as she turned the corner, she hesitated. Was she ready for that reckoning? Could she face the parents whose dreams had died with their son? The rain fell harder, muffling her thoughts as droplets mirrored her tears. In that moment, the truth descended. There might never be an absolution, only the ache of consequence. The road ahead was as uncertain as her own heart, a labyrinth shrouded in shadows, where justice and punishment intertwined. And as she walked away from the cafe, the weight of her decisions lingered, unfurling like smoke in the wind, a haunting reminder